Attention all birding fans, it's time to experience Central Florida's peak migration. October 13th through the 15th is this year's Florida Birding and Nature Festival. And joining us with the details is Mary Keith, president of Tampa Audubon, along with Ann Paul, the manager of the Coastal Island Sanctuary. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Welcome back. We always love when you're here. You're this wealth of knowledge when it comes to birds, and we live in this paradise, I think this birding paradise here in the Bay Area. So let's start with you, Mary, and talk about kind of what we can see right now. This really is peak migration time.
It is, and what it means is that birds that spent the summer up in Canada and northern U.S., some of them are now here for the winter to stay, but a lot of them are moving through. So if you're spending time out in the woods, around the marshes, on the coastline, you can see all kinds of birds going through that won't be living here, but are moving through, and then in the spring will come back again. And that's why we pick this time of year, because we get such a great variety.
It's a huge variety. So talk about what this festival, there's lots of field trips. We're going to talk about those in just a second. But what is the mission of this festival, and how do you kind of encompass, because you guys are doing a lot. There's seminars, there's field trips. Talk about the home base is at HCC, correct?
Right, at the South Shore campus of HCC in Ruskin, which is a really great venue because it's near a lot of the roads, so we can get quickly to our field trips.
Okay.
But we also have over 30 seminars scheduled, and the seminars are going to cover everything from nature photography and how to do it to natural habitat landscaping for wildlife. If you'd like to have birds in your yard, you can come and find out how. We've got talks on obviously birds, but also reptiles, butterflies, dragonflies.
And the guest speakers, you have some good guest speakers, right?
We've brought in our experts from all over Florida and actually out of the state too. Our keynote speaker Saturday night is Reese Collins, and she's going to be talking about the efforts over the many years to protect bald eagles. You may not be aware that our population of bald eagles is the largest of any state outside of Alaska. So we are Bald Eagle Central here, and the work that we've done with Audubon and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and the Wildlife Commission, all of this has meant that our eagle populations are recovering. We expect to see a number of bald eagles on our field trips.
Oh, how cool.
So,
and actually there's going to be one brought that evening.
There will be
we'll have a live bald eagle there too.
So it'll be really exciting. So we're very excited. She's going to be talking about the Endangered Species Act and the protection of the bald eagle. The Friday night keynote is going to be Buddy Powell, and he's going to talk about his lifelong commitment to the protection of manatees.
Okay.
That evening is sponsored by the Manatee Viewing Center because and Tampa Electric, and so we're really excited about that too.
Yeah. Well, as a wrap up, I want to make sure and get in. It's so interesting with the hurricanes that we've had and the storm damage, and you see all the limbs are still down everywhere. How does that affect maybe what we're going to see with migration? Does it have an effect here in the Bay Area?
As the birds that depend on flowers, the birds that depend on leaves, so looking for insects in the leaves, they're going to have to be working a lot harder.
Okay.
In terms of the festival, it's closed one of our field trips at least, and possibly two, because there's been so much damage to a couple of the parks, or the water is still so high that we can't get into them. We're much luckier here than some of the Caribbean islands, because Caribbean islands that were just stripped of leaves, stripped of flowers, the birds have nothing to eat, no place to go. So
this is certainly something you can find out more about when you come to the festival. Ladies, thank you for being here this morning. Always such a pleasure to have you on. And again, this festival, 3 days. Make sure you go find out more.
Registration is online. So.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much, ladies. We appreciate it.